Why do we write stories? Now, for each and every one of us, the answer to that question will differ, and sometimes it may differ quite significantly. But almost all the authors write because they not only enjoy creating the stories that they make and the characters they pour their soul and heart into creating, but also because they feel they're doing something significant. Now, that is not true for all the authors out there, but it's certainly true for me. In my case, I am writing the stories because I feel that it is something meaningful that I'm doing for the world, and something that I'm doing also, of course, for myself, as I feel that this obligation to tell the story is something that is rooted deeply within me, and something that I should leave in this world after the body that confines my spirit, that hosts the spirit, is basically no longer functional. And so the books and the manga that I create, they are all a reflection of my beliefs, of my views, of everything that I think about me as a person being here in the real world. And so all those experiences that I have, all the thoughts that are in my head, they're all being poured into the stories that I create. And by creating them, I am basically making a portal, a mirror to my own consciousness at that time of writing the story. And of course, it sounds like I'm writing some sort of memoir, but it's not a memoir. All the stories, all the characters, they're all fictional, of course, but through them, through the prism of these fictional interactions and deeds that the characters make, what is happening in the story, I myself transfer my own view of life and of death. And so for me, writing is a personal thing that I don't usually enjoy to an extent I should be, especially when I'm writing a lot of things at the same time and I'm spending hours upon hours doing that. Of course, when you take a break, and yeah, balance is really important. It's crucial to sustaining a healthy writer lifestyle. So never forget about it, but I think I'll do a separate video covering that topic because it is really important. Yeah, so as I was saying, you take a break for a few days and then immediately you're back on track. You're enjoying the things you make and you're enveloped in the story that you created. For me, as an outline writer, I tend to create the script with all the detailed information about the characters, about what's going to happen. It's essentially a movie script which says what's happening after what, and even some dialogues are written out already. And after that, I just sit and write based on the outline I have. So for me, it's more of a technical thing that I do after. I mean, writing the book itself, I have to explain. I mean, I've already explained the things in my script, but now I have to describe them. And so it's more like, okay, I know the story. Now, how do I put it inside this like envelope, or I don't know, some fancy cover so it looks more appealing to an audience. And by audience, I mostly mean myself, because let's be honest, most people, well, at least a major portion of them, creates the stories, be it a book, a manga, a movie, whatever, as a game, is because something they have something in them that they want to share, but it's also a reflection of themselves. So that's kind of, they are making things for themselves as well, because it's them essentially in the story. It can be said about many authors. It can be said about most of them. Tolkien, a great example. Miura Kantaro, I mean, almost everyone. Now, there are authors that are just hired to do their job, to write a book in a already created universe, but most of the time they too, by creating their own characters in someone else's universe, they're also pouring themselves into that character. A good example would be Drew Karpyshyn with his Darth Bane trilogy for Star Wars. My mom usually says, well, if you want to leave something meaningful in this world, and so it remains after you pass away, like your heritage, leave children. I mean, they are an exact copy, or not an exact copy, I'm not sure, but they transfer your genetics into the world, into the universe, onto this planet. And so you are infinite in your children. And while this is true, children do not carry your, I mean, hopefully they will carry your beliefs and principles, but they usually don't. And so they're not a reflection of yourself. Stories, on the other hand, are a complete opposite. They are purely your reflection. In each of the characters, you can find at least one characteristic that is similar to yours or just the same. I know in my case, all of my characters from all of my stories are some part of a reflection of my own being. And the story itself, of course. So yes, I would say both are important. The heritage that you leave as your gene heritage, and the heritage that you leave in terms of your own reflection, be it a book, an anime, a manga, a movie, whatever you can make, an art piece. It is something that will be infinitely there, and no matter what happens, almost no matter what happens, it will stay on this planet. Hopefully, some people will know about it and gain some knowledge, be inspired, and create their own stories in the future, just like I did and just like I do, because I am inspired by those who created before me and who are still creating. So that is it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.